Good morning and happy live stream. Today, I'd like to share with you how my life is different as a Black woman who has not lived in the United States since 2015. I promise not to be fidgeting with my hair the whole time. Okay, I'm just going to get it into a shape and then leave it. But that's what I'd like to talk to you about. Me and some of my homegirls would like to talk to you about. So stick around to hear what how life is different, how I see myself as different because uh, I've made the choice to not live in the United States. Okay, my name is Stephanie Perry. On this channel, I help Black women take sabbaticals, career breaks. I help Black women move abroad. I help Black women bop around the world as a nomad. I'm a house sitter and the creator of House Sitter School, and I am the co-creator of ExodUS Summit. If you're at all interested in leaving the country for any amount of time, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'll fix my hair while you do that. Go ahead. Okay, thank you. All right, and then turn on notifications, ring the notification bell. You'll be notified when I post a new video or when I go live. Hi, friends. Okay, so this is my first time on this new platform. Okay, hi, friends. Who's here? Who's here? Oh, hey. Good morning, Stacey Ann and Omaloya One and Sparkling Jewel and Beja Soul and Valencia. Good morning, Patsy and Camila. Travel Spanish with Claire. Hey, Bobby. Hey, Ra. Hey, Monica. Hey, Susie Q. Good morning, Ko and Nicole and Book Figures One. Good morning, Tina Long. Good morning, everybody. I don't see my mom here yet. Good morning, Connie Perry, if you're here. All right. So I'm going to share with you some things. And Evelyn, I see you. I don't know if Evelyn can hear me, but Evelyn, I see you. And if you're ready to get on the screen, I'll put you on the screen. Or if you want me to wait for 1 second, hold up one finger. You want me to wait for, okay. All right. Then let me share some things. Okay. I'll share a lot throughout the course of this live stream. We're going to be together for a little while. I hope you have some time. Okay. But let me share with you how I left the country in 2015 first. When we talk about moving abroad, sometimes people have a more narrow idea of what I'm talking about than I have. What I'm talking about is if you leave the country, your life is going to be better. I left the country in 2015 on a career break. I saved up $14,400 so that I could travel for a year in Southeast Asia on $1,200 a month. This was 2015. And I did it because I just wanted to see some places in Southeast Asia, right? I had all these screensavers of these places, the Phuket, the boats on Phuket with the limestone things in the back, the mountains in the back. I had pictures of Cambodia, Siem Reap, Angkor Wat Temple Complex in Cambodia. And I just wanted to see those places. But what happened was I spent a year out of the United States and changed my life. It changed me. And so that's why I came back and started helping other people leave the country, other Black women leave the country. And for pretty significant amounts of time, for months, years, decades, not only days. Leaving for days is good, but when you leave for days, you generally go on vacation and you're busy. You're busy, you come back tired. It's not the same as leaving for a long period of time and letting the un-American stuff seep in and letting the American stuff fall away. That American stuff includes, hold on, give me a second. Okay. That American stuff includes hustle culture, Black excellence, capitalism over everything, sleep when you're dead, right? All of that stuff gets to leave your system the longer you're gone. And so that is one way that I was changed. Friends, if you are in my Patreon, you got an email this morning. You probably got 2 emails this morning saying that I want you to join me because this is a group assignment. This is a group assignment. I would love for a whole bunch of Black women who have left the country to share how they're different. Okay. Thank you for sticking around. Okay, Evelyn, I'm pulling you up. You ready? It's StreamYard's fault. It's got to be StreamYard's fault. But Evelyn, I'm pulling you up. We'll see how this goes, okay? We're talking about how our life is different. I happen to know where Evelyn is, but I'm going to let her tell you everything. Okay. Hi, Evelyn. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Living my best life here in Panama City, Panama.
Panama City, Panama. I happen to know that because I got to meet Evelyn down there in Panama City, Panama. Introduce yourself. Tell us where you used to live and how long you've been in Panama and whatever else you want to tell us in your intro.
Okay. Well, I've lived a lot of places. I lived in Florida most of my life, but I grew up in New York, and I attended law school and met another student from Florida, and I transferred to University of Florida, and that's how I got to Florida,
Okay.
and had two children after 15 years divorce. Um, I was a judge, a lawyer for government, state and federal. And In 2016, I wanted to leave after that election,
Yeah.
and I wasn't prepared. And I was still helping my daughter with my grandchildren. And I continued to travel. I've always traveled. I've been traveling since 1972. And really before that, but that's when I got my first passport. That's before Mexico and Canada required a passport.
Yeah.
And so I traveled in the non-passport days. And my first international trip outside of North America was to Morocco in 1972. And I've been traveling since. And I moved to Panama from Montgomery, Alabama, where I
Oh.
had bought a home during the pandemic. And during the pandemic, I spent my time renovating that home.
Mhm.
And I got to Alabama because my daughter had moved there because her daughter was accepted to Alabama State University and she was only 16. So, you know how we hover, and we wanted to be in the area. So I was there from 2019 until May 2023. And um, I was still traveling. I was still looking for places to go. I'd been in 2022. I started with Panama in
Okay.
April of 2022, and in April again, I went to of 2023. Yeah, I went to Ecuador
Yeah.
and looked at Ecuador, Monza particularly. Then I left Ecuador. I went to Portugal
Hmm.
and looked at Portugal. And in August of 2023, I took Charlotte Van Horn's Black Express in Panama relocation tour.
Hmm.
And that sealed it for me. I stayed a couple of weeks, looked around, got an apartment, went back home, got my papers together, and came back and officially moved September 1st, 2023.
Yes.
And I celebrated my anniversary, my first anniversary here. And I first moved to the beach because I swore that I wanted to live on the beach. My ex
Right.
husband had promised me that we'd live on the beach. We never lived on the beach. I said, I'm going to live on the beach. And I did for about 9 months, and it was fine, but it was not a whole lot to do for
Okay.
a single person. There were married couples there, Black expats who were very nice to me.
Uh-huh.
But without a car, I couldn't really get out and do things. And I was always having to depend on either someone else or taxis. And
Yeah.
so I decided to move to the city because I had friends here as well who were always inviting me to things, and I couldn't go because I was 3.5 hours away.
Yeah.
So, so at the end of May of this year, 2024, I moved to the city and got an apartment. I'm not like steps from the ocean, but I'm on Panama Bay. So I still have a water view. I don't know if I can show you that or not, but um, I'll just step outside.
Okay. Step outside, Evelyn.
And I don't know if you can see it,
Oh, we
but
can
this is
see.
my view.
We can
And
see.
the ships, I see the ships lining up to go into the Panama Canal.
There's
It's
some little.
kind of slightly cloudy, but when it's not cloudy, you can see them clear. And at night, it's really good. You can see them really good at night.
It's beautiful.
Um, yeah, standing out there. I mean, sitting, waiting for their turn to go into the canal.
How
And
beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah.
I live in a neighborhood called San Francisco, and it has lots of restaurants, lots of, well, there's a club here that everybody goes to every Tuesday for jazz.
Huh.
There is supermarkets, all kinds of stores and shops. It's a very cool place to live, and I'm right
Yes.
behind the convention center. So sometimes it gets loud for performances, but if you don't like loud, don't come to Panama City. Uh, yeah, if you can't take noise, it's not every day, of course, but
Yeah.
when it is, it's loud. And they party here. They like to have fun. They enjoy families. They love meeting new people. I stopped at a Greek coffee shop and talked to a guy, and I was doing my broken Spanish. He says, "You English?" I said, "Yes." And so he says, "I speak English." I said, "Well, you speak English, and I'll speak Spanish to you." And he just loved that. And I loved it too. It's just that's how people are anxious to converse with you,
Yeah.
and so I do my best to do Spanish while they do their form of English.
Yeah.
And
So, Evelyn, you mentioned that people are inviting you to things, and you were at the
yeah,
beach, you were far away to go, and now you're able to
right,
go to things, go out to eat, go to jazz
right.
days. And so, was that your life when you were in Florida and Alabama? Were you a social butterfly then, or is this a new thing?
Well, I I have been a social butterfly when I lived in Atlanta, when I lived in Florida, when I was younger, living in Orlando and Daytona Beach. I was the social butterfly. I remember Delta Sigma Theta sorority, so I was big in the activities. I'm AME, so I was big in AME church stuff, and I had friends in Atlanta and friends in Orlando, but Montgomery, I wasn't there long enough and the pandemic hit before I was able to. But I developed a couple of friends there, but not social. It was like church, and that was about it. Every now and then lunch. So it wasn't like this. I didn't have, after my daughters moved from Alabama to Massachusetts, I didn't have walking partners. Whereas
Mm.
here, I have a group of ladies, we walk and at least every Friday, we get together and walk in Parque Omar, which is our version of Central Park. It's, of course, not as large as Central Park, but it's a very nice place to walk, and it has trees all around it, so you don't get too much direct sunlight. So it's a really lovely, lovely community. The people are really nice, and I'm looking forward to my best friend of 47 years coming here to Panama for Christmas. She and her husband coming to spend Christmas with me.
Good,
And
good. You think you're
yeah.
going to be a recruiter to stay?
Oh no, 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 no. They're Floridians, born and raised, and they have businesses there and everything. No.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Your soror, Meredith Hurston, wants to know if there's a Delta chapter in Panama.
No, I only know of two other deltas.
Okay.
I'm certain there are more here, but we don't talk about
Yeah.
sororities or things like that. We talk about, okay, I went here, I'm going to this trip, I'm doing this, I'm doing yoga, I'm doing whatever. We don't really get. Only one person has talked to me. One of the ladies that walks with me in the park was talking to me about Delta, but
Yeah.
for the most part, we haven't, and we do volunteer. I mean, when I was at the beach, I made clothes for indigenous children, and I don't even sew. But one of the ladies taught me how to how to do enough sewing where I knew how to, fold a band to make a skirt, or how to do a sleeve, and so I did. That was one of my volunteer projects. The others we made jewelry for the children. Since I've been here in the city, I've participated in this one church one of our friends is in. They're doing Christmas gifts for kids. So I've already done the Christmas shopping for her and given her the present. So there are opportunities to volunteer and to do other things. But it's been great just taking care of me
Yes. Yes.
and being
So
good to me.
that's right. So we're sharing. So we're talking about how our life is different because we don't live in the U.S. So taking care of yourself, what does that look like? What does taking care of you and focusing on you look like? And how, and were you able to do it the same way in the US?
Well, some of it I did in the U.S. Even though my daughters left Montgomery, I had started walking in the park there. They call it, it's known as the Shakespeare Festival Park, where they have a Shakespeare theater, and it's a really beautiful park area. It's really huge too, and it has a museum there and everything. And I used to participate at the museum, and I walked, and I would go to Shakespeare. They had outdoor Shakespeare theater there, some indoor, some outdoor. I participated in that. So I'm probably doing a little more here, but it's not different in the sense. The only self care that's different is like I might walk a little more now. I might and I found I can go shopping and talk to the people and learn Spanish. And you put yourself out there, you talk to the Uber driver, and sometimes they correct you and other times they go, "You're doing great." I know they're cheerleaders for you.
Yeah.
And but in terms of the self-care, in terms of I do more, I give myself more grace, because I used to cook all the time at home. I still cook a lot, but I don't mind taking myself out to eat and meeting friends to eat, or just going somewhere and having a coffee. And but one of the things that I do is I allow myself to meet new people, and I get out of myself by, you know, I call people to check on them. They call to check on me. I have a lot more of that here, people checking on me, than I had at home. Um, and people here want to meet up more than people did at home. At home, they would just call, people would call. And
Yes.
but here, people actually, we get together, we go out of the way to be together. Like one of the ladies that walks with us on Friday, she takes the Uber there because she doesn't live in walking distance. So
Um,
we're intentional about looking after each other and talking to each other.
Good.
And like next week, I'll be doing something that I never hardly did in the States, which is going to a dinner theater here, Emotions Dinner Theater at the Hilton. And that's like something that, I did when I was much younger in New York, but not now. So, but
Yeah.
now I do that regularly. I go to theater, I go to jazz, venues, and museums. I do a little bit more here because I have the time and I have the interest. And
Yeah.
but yeah, more intentional care in terms of actually seeing people, not just sitting in the house watching TV,
Right.
HGTV. uh, well, I left. The pandemic was hard because you could not get to see too many people, but
Mhm.
in terms of what I've gained here, I think I'm better off here than if I had stayed. First of all, in Alabama, I would have been just me by myself, although another grandchild after the first one graduated is there going to school.
Oh,
They really like Alabama State University.
okay.
And my oldest granddaughter who graduated summa cum laude, I keep saying magna, but summa cum laude.
Yeah.
And because I just never knew anybody that graduated summa cum laude. And so,
Yeah. Talk
and
on it, Evelyn. Speak on her. That's right. So,
but yeah, I love my life here. It's easy. I don't get into a lot of drama that I got into back in the States,
okay.
and particularly family drama. Uh,
Yes. Yes. You get to separate yourself from that stuff, right? You
yeah,
can
I don't have to deal with family drama.
that's right.
And
Choose
and
the
that's
relationships and the
yeah.
way to navigate them.
Well, what I did too is I came to Panama after I had essentially um, gave my nephews the what for. I don't want to say what I said. For them to come and get my sister, who was really seriously ill. I knew she was seriously ill, and I was driving first from Florida to Georgia to take care of her for about a year, and I stayed in Georgia. caring for her before 2019. I left and went to South Africa, and then I came back to Alabama. And I told them I wasn't going to be able to keep doing this. Although I did it for another 2 years after I told them that, I kept telling them. And so they finally took her to New York in January 2022, but she passed in March of this year. And but I had moved. I told them I wanted to move, and they kept not doing it and everything. I says, "Well, I'm going to be moving," and so 2022 I didn't move, but I started looking. I started traveling, looking for places, and then I moved last year, over a year ago. But I had to give them a really hard talk to come get their mom that they had not visited in 5 years. I said, I can't do this. I can't continue to do this because I didn't want to, die. Taking care of her, driving up there, driving her to appointments, driving her like miles and miles away for treatment. It wasn't like everything was right where she lived. And, but in any event, so now I'm taking care of me, and I'm feeling good about that. My children feel good about that. They're very proud of me. They're very happy. And my final thing before I let you ask a question, I finally convinced my oldest daughter, who did not have a passport, nor did her children, to get them passports, and they got that before when I was up there to vote this year. So I feel like I've done it all. I'm winning, and convince. Well, the younger daughter, I didn't need to convince. She used to travel with me, and she married an African from the Côte d'Ivoire, so I didn't have to convince her.
Yeah.
And but now they're all on board. Everybody is planning for a move. It's not going to be for a while because they're not ready. And but anyway, it's good. Life is good.
It looks good. Thank you, Evelyn. So can you tell us about your YouTube channel? Can you tell us, you share information?
I don't have a YouTube. I don't have a YouTube channel.
Oh, do you not share information on the internet?
I share. I'm very good at sharing on chats, on Facebook or whatever, but I don't. YouTube is a job. You all work very hard to do this. I don't want to work that hard. I'm 73 years old, Stephanie. And all these people that are hopping on and doing YouTube, I say, God bless you. Bless your sweet little heart. No.
Listen, I'm not trying to put you to work. You know that.
No.
Okay, I apologize. I was confused.
No, there are other gray-haired ladies who are on YouTube, so I can see why you might be confused. But I'm not one of them. I do not wish to be one of them.
So I got to meet Evelyn in Panama. I went down to Panama City, and there was a lovely meetup, and some women got together. Mary Goff has created Black Women Expats in Panama, right? Charlotte Van Buren has the Black Expats in Panama group. There's a lot of people from Panama, from the United States in Panama, living their dreams, living good lives. So Evelyn does not have a YouTube channel that I can point you to, but she is. You are the Exodus Summit Facebook group. So let me just point you to my own Facebook group then. Okay. So
I'm happy to respond to people on Stephanie's Exodus Summit Facebook group, on Black Women Expats in Panama. And I'm not, we have a chat on Black Women Expats in Panama, so you can chat. We can chat there. But no, I don't want to work that hard. I don't want to work. You all work hard doing these things. You make it look easy, but it's not easy. Okay. I try to just upload photographs to send to people, and I'm like, where did it go? What's going on?
On a day like today, when everything is going wrong, it is a little bit hard. It is so thank you. I appreciate your patience, and I appreciate you sharing. So there are a lot of questions in the chat about Panama. We're going to talk more about specific locations over on the Exodus Summit YouTube channel and on this YouTube channel in the Exodus Summit Facebook group. Inside of the Exodus Summit Facebook group, there's already good information. Evelyn and some women who've already moved to Panama have already been sharing info there. So I would go to the Exodus Summit Facebook group if you have specific questions. What is y'all's rent? They'll share that with you. What is y'all's rent? What's the weather like? What's the whatever the weather you can Google. But other questions, come to the Exodus Summit community. Okay, get those questions answered so that you can find a happy place for you. Right, Evelyn,
Mhm.
Ecuador, tried out Portugal and Panama,
Yeah.
and one.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
find your happy place. Yeah. Okay.
And wherever you go, please understand you're not a tree. If it doesn't suit you, try another place.
That's right.
But do not let that stop you from what you really want. And if you don't want to come to the hot Central and South America, and you really want to go and be in in Europe and be cold sometimes, fine, you know. But I'm with Stephanie. I boycotted winter, and I am only there in the winter when I have to be.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing, Evelyn. And thank you so much for your patience. I appreciate your patience through my tech difficulties. So nice to see
That's
you.
fine. Bye bye.
Hi. Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Mhm.
Okay. Do I know how to do this? I'm new to this. Hold on. Remove. Okay. I think I did it. Hi, Adelia. Are you ready? Okay. All right. So that's Evelyn. We're talking about how our lives have changed. Meet my friend Adelia. Hi, Adelia. It looks like you're doing things
Hello.
today.
I am painting my bedroom. I started, but I gotta do another coat and then I'm gonna do some things on the side.
Oh, okay. So Adelia is a crafty hands person, hands woman.
I don't know about that, but it was either I do it or I didn't feel like going through the work of trying to find somebody to do it. In my other apartment, I had a mural painted over the bed that I paid somebody to do. But
Oh,
this time around, because there was so much painting happening in this apartment, I figured I'd do most of it.
okay. Okay, good. All right. Well, thank you for popping in on your DIY day. Please introduce yourself. Everybody knows Adelia, but friend, please introduce yourself and act like people don't know. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Adelia Aborshade. I moved abroad in 2016, initially to Honduras, and then I moved to Mexico, specifically Mexico City, where I lived for a year and I absolutely loved it, but I decided to go back to work. Um, and so I ended up in Asia for 2 years, in Kuwait and in China. And then I decided to leave China and I came back to Mexico, Mexico City. So
Mexico City. And what year was that?
that was 2020,
Okay.
July 2020.
All right. So in the olden times, you were a school teacher.
I was.
How's life
Feels so
different for
long
you?
ago now, feels like.
Yeah. How is life different now? What's different about life for you now in a new place?
Well, when I moved abroad, because I was still working in K-12 education when I moved abroad. And so I would say pretty much for every place I lived, the big difference for me living abroad was that I could live my life in a way that aligned with my values that
Ah,
I could not do in the US.
what is that? Like what?
Um, I have never really bought into the whole like hustle culture. You gotta do like that. I never fit into that. And
Right.
so moving abroad, life was at a much slower pace.
Mhm.
So I embraced that wholeheartedly.
Yes.
Um, and I was just a lot more free to live my life in a way that had I chosen to live my life in that way in the US, one, it would have been really hard. And two, it was so counter to what is the norm in the US.
That's
It
right.
just probably would have stressed me out.
Yeah. It is stressful. It is stressful trying to resist, right? Trying to resist the, hustle culture, trying to resist Black excellence, saying, I know you're satisfied, but you should be striving for a whole lot more so other people can look at you with respect and treat you with respect, right? There's a whole lot of other,
Exactly.
and it takes a lot of energy. It's draining to try to resist. And sometimes we just end up giving in, even though we didn't want to. Yeah.
So yeah.
Tell us about what you think. Let's play a game. What do you think life would have been like for you for the first year that you left was 2018? Is that right?
2016. So it's been 8 years.
Ooh, okay. So tell us, who would Adelia be today if you were still in Texas, still a teacher?
Well, that was not gonna happen.
No, you.
My life was gonna change, regardless. But I think about how I would have tried to live as close to the way I am now in the US.
Mhm.
I probably would have been working. I used to say I took a job at Starbucks, but I wouldn't work at Starbucks. But assume something similar, like maybe a gig at Target or something low stress where I leave and work is done. And I would have pursued more of the things I enjoy, going to museums, sewing, of course, traveling. I probably would have still been traveling a lot more so that I have a reason to be outside of the US.
Yeah.
I find that I don't travel quite as much. At least in the last 6 months, I have been able to embrace some stillness that I could not find previously.
Yeah.
Um, I imagine if I was still in the US, because I would have the version of the life I would have tried to create, similar to this one, I'd have been earning a lot less money. So that probably would have meant that I'd have had a roommate or two
Mhm.
and have embraced co-living in some way, shape, or form. And I'd have probably still been stressed out because low key, when I go back to visit, the I can feel my shoulders tighten
Yeah.
simply when I land
Yeah.
in the airport, when I land in Houston. Um, and that's a way that like I don't feel that outside of the US.
Yeah. So you mentioned co-living. Can we share what that's like? So you think you do think that this is a thing that you would have approached or tried even if you were still in the US? Because I don't know,
Yeah.
because we don't know anybody who's doing it.
Well, I would have had to
Okay.
because I would have been making so much less money. Not that
Okay.
I was making that much to begin with.
Okay.
Because when I first got divorced, like my cousin reached out and was like, hey, do you and the kid need a place to stay? Like that was the first time I'd ever even considered that.
Okay.
But when I committed to, okay, I've got to move through life in a way that is less stressful, which means I'm not trying to climb anybody's ladder.
Yeah.
Um, I saw that would have to be that would have had to happen, I think, for me to stay in the US
Okay.
to live more low key.
Yeah. So how is co-living going? That's a thing that I think is going to be that's a thing how I think I'm going to do things for the short term while I'm working on some other stuff. How is it?
It's been awesome. And everybody thinks about the economic piece.
Mm,
It wasn't necessarily something I had to do when I moved abroad, and I
mhm.
had initially considered it. Um, and then I was like, I don't like any of these people. I don't want to live with them. But since I did find somebody that I do like, it has been great.
Yeah.
It is, it's not just about, oh, I don't spend as much on rent. It is having somebody around. So like I got sick a couple of months ago, like really sick, like I thought I might be dying. And there was somebody here that could call the doctor, or when I WhatsApp the doctor to come, could let security know, hey, there's a doctor coming, blah, blah, blah. You're not just completely out there alone. You've got your own little community.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to use the A word as people who are aging, but not old. Okay. As people who are aging, those are things that we do think about, right? Not having to do everything yourself or decide everything yourself or whatever, right? Being able to have another person, and we're a team inside of this house, right? We run this house as a team. I'm not running this house by myself, whatever that means, right? There are a lot of
Yeah.
responsibilities and things that you don't necessarily want to keep doing all by yourself at 45, at 55, at 65, at 75, that maybe were exciting at 25, right? They're
Yeah.
but at
But
40,
not so much now.
yeah, yeah. So there's a question here from Faye Campbell. Faye wants to talk about slowing down or stillness. Please talk about the stillness, because I think the old paradigm stops us from just being still. Even after you moved, you were doing a whole lot of traveling and home, not home, never home, always gone.
Always somewhere. When we moved into this building, it really confused the security guards, because either we were going somewhere together, or I would travel, she'd be here, she'd travel. It was just very constant. Probably, I mean, honestly, for most of the 25 years that I've been traveling, I have always tried to travel somewhere every month, if
Yeah,
not multiple places.
yeah,
And that continued after I moved abroad. And then that was non-existent when in the height of the pandemic. And then when things started to open back up, I just picked up where I left off.
yeah,
And I got really tired,
yeah,
and I had this craving for stillness. I just wanted to be at home in my apartment, hanging out on my couch, watching my TV, walking to the bakery down the street. And so I I stopped booking things. I think I said something publicly about it probably early this year, early 2024. But I had up until June booked. And then I was just like, I'm not adding anything else.
okay.
And it has been fabulous.
Yeah, good, good. So you're painting your room, you're sewing clothes, but not for me. You're
No, sorry.
learning print. You learn print stuff. Is there
I,
anything
I took a class on screen printing, just wrapped up a 6-week intensive Spanish class. Uh, I survived.
how was it?
That was work. That was work.
Yeah.
Uh, and so now, I don't know. Now I'm contemplating. Apparently, in my neighborhood, there's a little community center that offers classes like yoga. There are classes for kids and whatever. And I noticed they have a Spanish class for foreigners.
Okay.
One, I don't know that there are that many foreigners in this neighborhood, so I'm wondering who's going to be in the class.
Yeah.
But I'm considering that, because that might give me an opportunity to like meet more people who live in the neighborhood. I'm
Yeah.
thinking more like Spanish speaking people, not necessarily the foreigners, but
Okay.
like getting in with the folks at the community center, so that maybe like the next time they offer salsa classes, I can take it there, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So this version of Adelia who goes to classes and learns new things, have you always been that person? Did you have time for that as a
I didn't
person?
have time to be this person. Anybody who has worked in K-12 education knows that while the school hour might be 7:30 to 2:30, uh, you, the teacher, are there at least 2 hours additionally on either end of that.
Mm.
And then there were children at my house who had to go do things. So no, I didn't have time. That's why being able to live in a much slower pace was really, really important to me.
Good. Yeah. So Evelyn talked to us about intentional, right? About everything being so much more intentional. And you're talking to us about everything being so much more in alignment with your values, in alignment with who you are and how you actually want to live, and not just like how you got to live because this is how things are, right? This is how things are. You have to do this and you have to focus on work and not have fun. And that's just life until wait till you're 65. Yeah. So Adelia's YouTube channel is Picky Girl Travels the World. You can find her at the link on your screen. If you're watching the replay, hello friends in the future. I hope it's awesome there. I'll drop this link in the description of the video as well. Tell us what you do on YouTube.
On YouTube, I share content about my life here in Mexico City, about my travels. We talk about like solo travel more often than other forms. And we also talk about money, because that's the thing that gives you the options to live the life that you want. And
Yes.
so those are all the things we talk about.
All right, so Adelia's channel is Picky Girl Travels the World. She's Adelia Aborishade, and living in Mexico City helps her live a life that is more in line with her values. Friends, if you don't even know what you value, which is a legitimate place to be in the United States, because that's how it's all set up. Everything is set up for you to not know what you really want. Everything is set up for you to be on the same track as everybody else, same treadmill, same hamster wheel, right? If you don't know, start with some free time, right? Give yourself some free time as best you can, preferably out of the country if you're interested in that. And you'll come to know what you value. So Adelia, you said that slower pace, I'm looking at my notes, slower pace, low stress, feeling free, more joy are all words that you used. Would you 10 years ago have known that these were your values? Did you know that these were things that you wanted to live in alignment with, or did
I
they?
was, there was a kind of big life change happening for me almost about 10 years ago, exactly from now, where I was figuring that out. Because what I did figure out was the life that I was living as I was living it was not aligned with, it wasn't the life I wanted. I was not happy. I was not pleased with it. I would not have been proud to look back and that have been it. So I decided I needed to change some things. And that is where I started to change. I got clear on, well, what are the things that are important to me? What are the things I value? And then every decision since then has been, does this line up with these things that I find important?
So this is a thing that Adelia and Ivana is, well, this is a thing that Adelia and Ivana have helped me with. I went to their retreat. They host a retreat together called Reclaim. I went to their retreat in 2023, and it was the first time that, and Rachel Cargill's book, A
We
Renaissance
should
of Our
all be
Own,
millionaires. Oh,
A Renaissance of
I'm
Our
thinking
Own.
of the wrong book.
Yeah, wrong Rachel. All the Rachels are writing books. Okay. Rachel Cargill's A Renaissance of Our Own. Those were my first two opportunities to sit down and say, on writing, on paper, what do I really value? And how do I make sure I'm in alignment with those values? I think that, and some new things, some changes, some shifts popped up for me that I hadn't realized before. So I'll also link to Reclaim the Retreats. Wait, is there a separate?
It's up, but it's not quite ready. But if people want to go ahead and subscribe,
Okay.
they can.
Okay.
Just know we're not ready yet.
Breaking news, Reclaim the Retreat has its own YouTube channel. If I put it in, will I be able to find it?
You should be able to. I think the @ is Reclaim the Retreat.
Okay. Breaking news. Reclaim the Retreat has its own YouTube channel. So like I said, I went to the retreat. Was it 2023 or 2022?
What is time? I don't know.
Say, life is funny. So I went to the retreat and I came away with my notebook, and that notebook was, um, Stephanie, here are the things you value. And Stephanie, here are the decisions that you're making. And here's how your decisions are not in alignment with these values. Let's get some of that fixed. Let's work on that. So let me show this. Okay, it works. Reclaim the Retreat is the YouTube channel Breaking News. If you subscribe today and turn on notifications today, be patient. Okay, videos are coming.
Yes, something is coming. Something is coming. It's just not ready today because I got to paint my room.
Adelia's got things to do, y'all. Paint her room, learn aprender español. See? She's got to meet her neighbors and make friends with her neighbors, lay on the sofa and be easy, right? She's got stuff to do. Be patient, okay? Be patient. But you can go ahead and subscribe and turn on notifications now so you don't miss it. Okay. All right. Anything else you want to share with us about how your life is different now that you don't live in the United States?
I know for a lot of people, they think, oh, it can't be that much better. Like there's some conspiracy and we're all lying and trying to trick people. I only say things I mean so that I can always mean what I say. And for me, I am living a life that I had no idea was possible. Like I am enjoying myself, I am experiencing things and living in a way with happiness and fulfillment I did not think was possible. I didn't think I got to have something like that.
That's right. And now you have it, you live it, you share it with other people. So thank you very much for letting us know that, for spreading that message. I think that we just need to see more Black women living our dreams, living a life that is beyond our dreams. And then everybody will know, oh, me too, it's possible. But you don't just do that. You also share with us very practical ways to get there. Adelia is a financial educator and a move abroad educator, helper person, and a values and alignment educator. And those are the things that work together to get you from here to there, just like they've gotten Adelia, just like they've gotten me from here to there. Okay, thank you, friend. Happy painting day. This the color purple.
Somebody saw my shirt. Yep.
Yeah, happy painting day. Good luck. Enjoy.
Thank you. I will post a picture. I'm going to try to do something that's very artistic and outside of anything that I have done, because most of the painting in here has been like just solid colors and maybe a few diagonal lines. So yeah. I'm really finna step out here.
Oh, okay. Oh, then wait a minute. Okay, then Instagram. Let's put the Instagram in here as well then. Okay. Picky Girl Travels on Instagram. Okay, we can't wait to see it for the reveal.
All right. So hopefully, I don't know if I can get it all done today, but hopefully within a few days, y'all are gonna get to see something mildly impressive.
All right. Ooh, we ready to ooh and ah. Okay, we're ready. We're ready. Thanks so much, Adelia. Enjoy your Saturday.
All right, you too. Y'all take care.
Thank you for stopping by. Bye. Adrian, I lost you, but if you want to come back, come back. Oh, wait, I know how to do it. Okay. Adrian, I lost you, but if you want to come back on. I'll put you back on. So we're talking about how our life is different. Some practical things. There were a lot of questions when Evelyn was talking about the cost of living in Panama, because I happen to have a whole bunch of new subscribers. Hey, new subscribers, welcome. Some things that you haven't heard yet that we didn't talk about because they're things that we talk about all the time. But there are some cost of living calculators and some resources that will tell you what the cost of living is in a place. So I would get the Work From Anywhere toolkit at ExodUSSummit.com/toolkit. And you can see what the cost of living is in places. Oh, sorry, Adrian. Okay. So it's called the Work from Anywhere Toolkit. Even if you're not planning to work when you're abroad, it's still a toolkit that has some helpful resources for you. So I would get the Work from Anywhere Toolkit. Okay. And then I would also take the Which Country Should I Move to quiz. I would pair those things together. The Which Country Should I Move to quiz plus the Work from Anywhere Toolkit. So you'll have an idea of like which cities are of interest and how do I find out how much those places cost. Generally speaking, Rashida Dow, who is my business partner in the Exodus Summit business, generally Rashida says most people like to move to a place where their whole cost of living is what their housing expenses were in the US. That's a way, right? Most people don't want to go from my housing, I paid $2,000 a month for a home and my whole life cost me $5,000 a month. Most of those people don't want to go to a $600 a month life. They're not going to like it. It's too bare bones. It's no frills, right? But but if your mortgage or rent right now is $2,000 a month, you very well may find a place in the world where your whole life costs you $2,000 a month, right? ExodusSummit.com/toolkit. Let me try. And so that is a starting point. Let me find it's a exodus.mykajabi.com/toolkit. Let me see if that link works. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me give you the other link. That is a standard or a starting point that a lot of people use for their research for their move abroad. Okay. Keisha Berry says she took the quiz today and it happened to tell her Panama. Okay. It works. The quiz works. Right. So I would pair those two things. If your questions are about what is the cost of living in a place and whatever, I would look at my channel. I would look at you, at Adelia's. There are a whole bunch of women inside of this space who interview people over and over and over again about what does your life cost? What is your housing cost? How's your health care in this place? If they have kids, how do you school your kids? So I would go to my channel and type in Panama. Or what I would do is I would go to YouTube. What happens when we go to YouTube? Let me share my screen. If you get freaked out by someone having a lot of tabs open on her screen, take a breath, okay? You're about to see one of my screens and you're about to see a lot of tabs open. But let's see what happens when we go to YouTube and we type Black women in Panama. Don't freak out. Can y'all see my screen? No, we got to go to YouTube, not Banana Republic. Wait, we got to go to YouTube. So we're going to say, oh, Libria is live right now. If you need a remote job, go live with Libria. Go over to Libria's channel because she actually does things. She actually helps people search online live. If remote job is a difference maker, you can move over to Libria Jones' channel right now because she does live job searches with people on her thing. I think. If that's not what she's doing today, I apologize. Black women expats in Panama. Also, don't judge me for General Hospital being the main recommendation for me on YouTube. I do watch a lot of General Hospital. So here are women inside of this movement who talk to women about their cost of living in places. So Deborah Valerie is 60 plus Black women expats. She lives in Ecuador, but she does a tour to Panama and she got a lot of friends in Panama. Mary Goff, My Season Life. Mary Goff moved from the Carolinas, I believe, to Panama. And she has a community of Black women in Panama. And they talk a lot about specifics, logistics, the money, okay? Go explore Panama. I don't know them. Let's see. The Yarbros, y'all know Panama. Y'all know the Yarbros. They travel full time in Panama. Now I know good and well. I said Black women, and I know my video should be coming up. Aisha is Abroad Ability. Aisha she is a Black woman with I'm going to go with cerebral palsy. I believe she has cerebral palsy. She lives in Panama and she shares her information. Okay. So, and then, so Aisha, that's Aisha, abroad ability. And then Black expats in Panama, Charlotte Van Horn does an amazing tour. Okay. This me. Okay. So that's all you're going to tell me about Panama? I know good and well a video of mine should be showing up here. This is Ecuador. Maybe I haven't interviewed anybody in Panama. And this is who I was confusing. This is who I was confusing Evelyn with. Single women retiring abroad. Single women retiring abroad has a video on Panama. I know her name. It's gonna pop up. Let's see. Anyway, these are women inside of this movement, some of the women inside of this movement who have talked about the specific logistics of a place. Okay, stop sharing. Was that helpful at all to see that? Inside of the Exodus Summit channel, I'm going to give you a specific link to Exodus Summit because we talked to Mary. Let me go to the Exodus Summit channel. We talked to Mary about her life in Panama. She's probably the last person, the most recent video on Panama. So let me link to that specific video. We talked to Maggie is the woman. Maggie is who I was confusing her for. Sure. Okay. So listen, go to this page. Go to this page. I'm going to put a whole page here and then I'm going to make a playlist later on Panama because as I'm scrolling, as I'm sharing my screen, I'm not sharing my screen anymore. Let me go back to sharing my screen. As I'm scrolling, I'm like, oh, we've talked to quite a few women about Panama and I forgot. Time is funny. Listen, I'm 50 now. So we talked to Aisha, who is abroad ability, about her life in Panama. We talked to Maggie, who chose Panama, who scouted between Panama and Ghana. We talked to, there's another, Anna, I believe, about Panama, but she didn't move to Panama. Anna is traveling all over the world right now. And then the video that I was thinking of should be Mary. And Mary moved to Panama, but I don't know why her video didn't come up in my search. That's weird. But we interviewed Mary Goff. YouTube is playing with us. I know it was here. I know we talked to Mary Goff about Panama. Okay, YouTube has hidden that video for some reason. I'll go back. We'll find it. We'll find it. Okay, so I would go to my channel and I would find Mary Goff's video and those other videos that I just mentioned, and I would watch them if you're interested in Panama. Okay, and the remote work channel is Libria Jones, Librya. Okay, she's live right now, and if you're like, I can't find, you have to be more. If you like something like I do this kind of work and I'm having a hard time finding a remote job and something. She searches while she's live. Is YouTube tripping? I'm sorry. Listen, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. Yeah, YouTube. So I don't know. I know we interviewed Mary. It was one of our top videos, one of our most viewed videos about her leaving the US and going to Panama. But okay, so Nichelle says when she typed in Black women over 50 in Panama, Mary Goff's video was the first one. Okay, that's the video. Okay, that's the one that I'm trying to point you to, but the internet won't let me. And she has her own channel. Mary's My Season Life is her channel. But Exodus Summit interviewed her. I don't know. That's strange that wouldn't show up because it was one of our most viewed videos. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. All right. If you're in my Patreon, You have an email from me that says if you've left the country, come tell us how life is for you. So you're welcome to join. With the link is in that email. Okay. So I wanted to cover those kinds of questions because we have a lot of videos on those, and it's okay if you leave this video and go watch one of those videos on the logistics, on the money, on the residency, right? Go watch one of those videos. But I also wanted to tell you a few things. Let me get my thing up. Hold on. I have a list, okay? I have a list of things that I need to make sure that I let you know about today. I already told you about the Exodus Summit Facebook community. So inside of Exodus Summit, inside of the Facebook community, women are constantly sharing their information. I'm in Rwanda right now. Here's what I paid for my Airbnb. Here's what the experience was like. Here's how people treated me. Here's how, right? I'm in Barbados, or I got residency in Panama, or whatever, right? All of that information is inside of the Exodus Summit community. So join us there, okay? ExodusSummit.com/community. ExodusSummit.com/community. There's information for those of you who are serious, right? If you're like, I'm doing this, I don't know how yet. I may not know where yet, and I may not know when yet, but I know I'm doing this. Then join us inside of the Exodus Summit community. And I may not know for how long, right? I don't know yet if this is a permanent move or a temporary move. I don't know that information yet. That's all right. You don't have to know it. You don't have to know it to start learning and to start working on your plan. You can't work on your plan if you don't get in. Well, you can work on your plan outside of the community of Exodus Summit, but it's going to be harder. Okay. So join us in Exodus Summit. If you're a Black woman, I know that Facebook is not the ideal place for this community. And if you're watching this somewhere far in the future, the community might be somewhere else. So go to ExodusSummit.com/community and see where we're at now. But if you're watching this December of 2024, it is still a Facebook group, but it's worth being on Facebook for. The Exodus Summit community is worth being on Facebook for. We can see your comments, Tampa Creek, Homestead, and more. We can see your comments. So then, T Unique says, I took the quiz and got Johannesburg, South Africa. I could cry. I've had a dream about it. And I had a dream about it a few years ago. Really felt like I was in South Africa. That's where I'm meant to be. Good. I know it. Good. So this quiz is helpful. The quiz helps walk you through some questions, even if you're not crazy about the answer, right? Frankly, even if the answer pops up and you don't feel like crying because it was so intuitive, right? The quiz still walks you through some questions that you're going to use to decide where you want to go, right? Again, for a little while or forever. The quiz helps walk you through those questions that are really, really important. So take the quiz, ExodusSummit.com/quiz. It's less than 12 questions. I'm not really sure, but it's not that long. And it's fun, and you're going to like it, okay? It's going to give you something to think about. Whether it's going to give you a city that you're like, oh, actually, let me do some research on this city. Or it may give you a city where you're like, I don't think so, but the questions help direct me to another place, okay? Let that do that for you. The quiz is ExodusSummit.com/quiz, okay? So that's another thing I'm pointing you to. I'm pointing you to a lot of resources. Now, I'm in California right now. Even though I'm talking about this video is titled Leaving the Country, What That's Done for Me. I'm in the country right now because I just finished a house sit. I'm not house sitting right now. This is an Airbnb. I've got a little beach house Airbnb. But I just finished a house sit in Temecula, California. And house sitting means that I have the financial ability to spend more time in places that I want to. House sitting gives me free accommodation, and I house sit for weeks, sometimes weeks and weeks at a time. And that means that's a chunk of time where I'm not paying for a place to stay. And that means that when I do want to go someplace, I got the money to go. Because, I just spent this period of time not paying for a place to stay. I have the Temecula house sit, and then I go to Puerto Rico for Christmas house sitting. And then that frees me up for the month of January. I'm like, oh, well, now that I've not paid for a house sit now that I've not paid for a place to stay from Thanksgiving through New Year's, except for this week here in this beach house. Where am I going to spend that money? Where do I go to spend that money that I didn't have to spend during that time? And so house sitting is another thing that I want to share with you, another resource I want to share with you. House sitting is staying in people's homes and taking care of their homes and usually their pets while they're away. And house sitting is on sale right now. Trusted House Sitters Black Friday sale is over. And I kept trying to email you the Black Friday link. By the time I got you the good link, the sale was over. Like literally, when I looked at the link, it was working. By the time I got the right link to you in your inbox, the Black Friday sale was over. Okay? My apologies. But what Trusted House Sitters did for us is they gave us a 30% discount on the premium and standard membership. Okay? I have a link right now that I'm going to drop for you. That is a 30% discount on the Trusted House Sitters premium or standard membership for 1 full year. But wait a minute. Let me go get the link. Hold on. I thought I had it, but I don't have it. I think it's already in the description of the video, but it's not on my little notepad. This 30% discount is not on the basic membership. Trusted House Sitters has 3 tiers of membership. It's on the top 2, not on the lowest tier. This 30% discount is on those other tiers. And it is working because I did see someone already got it. I emailed it out yesterday and someone already used it. So the link is working, but not the link that I first sent out to you. So let me send this link to you. I'm going to content, assets, holiday 30%, tracking link, copy link. We're doing it. Okay. We're doing it. Okay. So this is 30% off Trusted House Sitters membership. This discount expires December 16th. The discount expires on December 16th. Okay. And it's now December 7th, 2024. It expires on December 16th. I don't know. They're in the UK. So when they say December 16th, I always assume they mean before I wake up on December 16th, because they're in the UK. Days start much earlier for them and days end much earlier for them. So I wouldn't wait until the 16th. If you're joining Trusted House Sitters now, I would do it now or before then. I do it before the 15th to make sure. Okay. Any house sitters in the house who want to do a little, roll call? Anybody here have done some house sitting? Adrian, you've house sat, right? That counts. If you want to come back on the live, if you want to come on the live stream and talk house sitting for a second, we can, because nobody else wants to talk to me. And then the final link that I want to drop is how to become a Patreon member. The women who have jumped on the screen today with me have the link to get on the screen with me because they're in my Patreon community. We are sending money to Black women to take sabbaticals. We have one last payment to send to Alicia Renice, the artist, so that to finish out her sabbatical payment process. We've been paying Black women to not work. We've been paying Black women artists so far, artists and creatives, to not work. And Alicia is the second woman who's gotten this chunk of money. I'm not saying the number, $25,000. We need to send her the last of the $25,000, right? We've sent her 8K. Now we need to send her the last 8. We said 83. Now we need to send her the last 84. That money comes from the Patreon community, and it comes from my merch, which you may see below this screen if you're watching this in the United States. So I'm sorry, my computer, my do not disturb doesn't work. Like when you're on StreamYard or Ecamm Live or something, I had it set up so that do not disturb automatically happens, and it's stopped lately, and I don't know why. Computers, they're out to get me. How to join my Patreon community? Vicarious.com/sabbaticals. No, sabbatical fund. Vicarious.com/sabbatical fund is how you contribute to the sabbatical fund. There are 3 ways to contribute, right? One is, there are actually 4, but the 4th one isn't announced yet. 1 is join the Patreon community. 2 is buy merch. If you wanted These Jobs Ain't Loyal merch or boycott winter merch or something, merch goes into the merch profits go into the Vicarious Sabbatical Fund. The third is you can give money directly to Alicia Renice if you want, right? If you want to give money directly to her because you want to, do that, right? I'm not here to be in the way. So that is so I've used StreamYard a lot for Exodus Summit videos, but Rashida's always there with me. Now I'm on my own. I quit Ecamm Live and I've come over to the other side. But yeah, Sabbatical Fund. This is our second person. She is the second person that we're giving $25,000 to. We've already given $25,000 to Maisha Francis for her sabbatical, where she went to Rwanda. Rashida talked to her on her channel not too long ago. Now Alicia Renice. In the meantime, we gave some money to some other women too, some smaller amounts, so that they could do some things too, including we sent a woman to Adelia's retreat. We sent Lisa to Adelia's retreat back in 2023. So a variety of things happening inside of the Sabbatical Fund. And one of them is several times a year, I say, anybody from the Patreon want to join me on YouTube. Okay. So those are the resources I wanted to point you to. Let me look on my sheet and see if there was anything else. So I told you about the quiz. I gave you the house sitting link. Now, let me also give you my new house sitter toolkit. If you're going to join Trusted House Sitters and you want to get some other house sitting tools and resources, get my new house sitter toolkit at vicarious.com, housesit.vicarious.com/toolkit, housesit.vicarious.com/toolkit. Those are just some other tools and resources that I use to get house sits. Okay, I told you about the Exodus Summit Facebook community. One more thing. Even though Evelyn says YouTube is hard, and even though today YouTube has been a little janky, okay, my YouTube channel is the reason that I can, in between house sits, stay in a beautiful beach house. This is a 3rd floor. When I had to go upstairs to get my phone to use it as a hotspot, I had to go up to the 3rd floor, okay, which is why it took me quite a while to get back. I can stay in a lovely beach house. My YouTube channel supports me. Last month in November, now I shouldn't be clicking around because as soon as I start clicking around, I'm going to lose internet again. I'll tell you. So in October, let me go to my analytics. And then October. In October, my YouTube ad revenue alone was $1,667. Not that great, but better than nothing. Okay, I'll take it. Then in November, my YouTube channel ad revenue was $5,500, 5592, $5,592. I don't know why it's hard for me to say that number. $5,592, right? YouTube ad revenue, that was November. YouTube doesn't pay you till the 21st of the month, but that's ad revenue. So YouTube is a place where I make money on its own, okay? YouTube is a place where I sell things separately, right? My merch, my coaching, right? YouTube is a place where I make money by itself. YouTube is a place where I sell other things. And YouTube is a place where I grow community. YouTube is a place where women in this chat get together. So before they get together in real life, in the real world. Probably about 80 of us are getting together in Vietnam in February, and that wouldn't exist without YouTube, right? The Facebook group is planning the get together in Vietnam, but it wouldn't have even gotten started if it wasn't for YouTube. I am trying to convince you to start a YouTube channel. I really think everyone should be on YouTube. YouTube is where I learned how to do a lot of things. When I was a virtual assistant and I was making money by helping people set up their newsletters and landing pages and lead magnets, a lot of what I learned was on YouTube. When I need to get to a house sit and need to learn how to use their particular coffee maker, because they're all different, I learned that on YouTube. Or those microwaves in Europe that are so strange. It's like, is it an oven? Is it a microwave? Right? Those are things that I go to YouTube for. And then when I need connection and community, when I need to meet people who are into the things that I'm into. Those relationships generally start on YouTube, right? Roshni is here. Roshni, I think we're friends. Roshni is my friend, but she's Glamazini, but that started on YouTube, right? So I hear, oh, Latina, oh, you are Latina, you're, okay, Roshni is making friends with other people here on YouTube. So my YouTube Success 5-Day Challenge starts on December 16th, and you can register right now at vicarious.com/challenge. Vicarious.com/challenge. If you want a YouTube channel to do one of these things for you, frankly, you don't even need your channel to do all of these things. For some of you, community is good, right? You don't need YouTube to bring you money. You just want YouTube to create community around this common thing. For some of you, selling your products and services is good. You don't even need the YouTube ad revenue if YouTube would sell your coaching or your retreat or your whatever, right? For some of you, YouTube ad revenue alone would be good and you wouldn't want any other business or any other things, right? I happen to get all three of these things from YouTube. And I'm not special. I'm not exceptional. I'm a person who's had a YouTube channel since December of 2019, and I've put that to use in my life, okay? And I think that more of us should be on YouTube, should be sharing. So you shouldn't be able to type in Black women over 50 in Panama and only see one person, right? Or Black women over 50 moving abroad, Black women over 50 selling her stuff. You shouldn't be able to do that and only find one person. We should be sharing. This is a movement and we're in community. Hey, Minnie, I'll put you up in just 1 second. And so I think we should be on YouTube. I think more of us should be on YouTube. My YouTube Success Challenge is on December 16th, 5 days. It's for 5 days. So Monday through Friday, we get together 3 p.m. Eastern time in group coaching, and we get your YouTube channel up and running if it doesn't exist. If it does exist, we help you learn how to make specific videos to tell YouTube's algorithm who your videos are for, so that YouTube can go find those people and bring them over to your channel or recommend your channel to them. YouTube doesn't bring people to your channel, but it does recommend your channel to new people. And so inside of the challenge, we work on making videos that the algorithm will then use to recommend you to new people. So join me in the YouTube Success Challenge. So those were the things I wanted to make sure you knew about today. Okay? The challenge is online and the link is vicarious.com/challenge. Here's the link again for you, and press flame. Vicarious.com/challenge is online. It's not a free challenge. It's a paid challenge because you get coaching, right? You get coaching and feedback from me. You make a video during the challenge. Okay, that's that. I'm on Blue Sky as Vicarious. I'm on Blue Sky and Instagram and whatever. My handle is Vicarious, VAYCARIOUS, the same that's in my website name. All right. Yeah. Hey, Sassy. Sasarai. Hi. All right. Kimberly says, I haven't met anyone in person, but I've been a stalker and I feel like I'm a part of the community. You are part of the community. So thank you for that. But come to a meetup. Seriously, there are events all over the world. Where are you, Kimberly? You don't have to say that. You don't have to tell us. This is the public internet. You don't have to tell us where you are. But wherever you are, go into the Exodus Summit community and look for a meetup and meet some people there. If there's no meetup happening in your place, make one. Right? Hey, I'm Kimberly. I live in Pittsburgh. I don't know where Kimberly lives. I live in Pittsburgh. Who wants to get together for brunch with me on this day at this location at this time? That's a meetup, right? That's a meetup. So you can do it. You can make one or you can go to one. There are some bigger meetups, right? Vietnam's going to be grande. It's like 10 days, 10 days long, at least 80 people. I feel like I think a good number of the women who've said they're coming are coming because a lot of them are already in Southeast Asia. I just bought my ticket. I booked my flight. I'm flying from LA to Hong Kong to Da Nang, Vietnam, DAD. I booked my flight. It's 10 days in February. I'm going to be in Vietnam a little longer than that. I'm getting there earlier, but we're going to be there together. So come to a meetup. Sometimes the I don't know, in-person relationships are like more solidified. I don't want to downplay online relationships, right? I don't want to downplay that because they've been really good to me. But there are in-person relationships that just really get solidified at meetups. There are some women, so what happens is women who have been accountability partners from the Exodus Summit, or women who have, who've been inside of the group and have gotten to know each other. Once they meet in person, I don't know, it's like another level of friendship, another level of relationship. Speaking of meeting in person, let's talk to Minnie, who I've met in person. You ready, Minnie? Okay.
Hi,
Hey,
Stephanie.
hey.
Hi,
Hi.
sisters. Hi,
Good.
Stephanie.
Hi. How are you? Introduce yourself. Tell us everything.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, sisters. I'm Minnie. I'm doing just wonderful. Wonderful. I'm actually en route. I just packed up my mobile home at Lake Mead,
Okay.
right outside Las Vegas. So kind of been missing different people when they go into Vegas. And I'm on my way. I'm totally packed up. I've been living also in Belize since October, in and out. I found a really nice place. It's in Ambergris Key,
Okay.
in right off the coast, right off of Belize. It's affordable. It's low keyed. It's chill on the island. It's golf cart driving, or
Uh-huh.
walking,
Uh-huh.
or taxi, and it's going to be my jumping off point. And so for the past couple years, I've been just working toward this, not working toward it, putting things in place. And I first met up with your audience and with our sisters through one of your videos on YouTube,
Okay.
like 5 countries that are great for African Americans, or 5 not to go to. And that's where I learned about Exodus Summit, learned about pet sitting.
Yes.
My first pet sit was in Scotland, January 2023.
Okay.
And I've been on about 8 or 9 pet sits. My last one was in the Bay Area. So it's wonderful.
Wonderful.
Life is wonderful.
You look good. You look good. Yeah. So everything is different now. So by packed up your mobile home, do you mean what's happening? So, and are you moving to Belize explain this to me a little bit more?
So, I'm freeing up my mind, my body, my options. So I sold the mobile home,
Okay.
and
Congratulations.
in the meantime, I actually went to Ambergris Key to pet sit. So I
Okay.
went to pet sit in August for 3 weeks. The owner extended it for another week. I fell in love with it,
Okay.
and always told myself, you know what? This might work. And while I was there, found out about a really reasonable rental
Okay.
and signed up to rent a place in October. Returned at the end of October for a minute. And I'm like back and forth putting things in place. So it's going to be my jumping off place, my jumping off home or spot for Southeast, for South America, Central America,
Yeah.
everything all the way down to Colombia, Cartagena, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trinidad. And then I'm going to swing back and catch you ladies in Southeast Asia.
Are you?
And absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because I just want to.
Yeah.
And then maybe do Asia in 26. But my goal is I'm just doing it. And I
That's
have a
so
big
good.
family.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
a big family, the sisterhood
Uh-huh.
of Exodus Summit sisters. Yeah.
You do. You
Yeah.
do. Yeah. So we first met in Morocco. Is that
Yes.
the meetup you went to? Right.
Yeah.
So you went to the meetup in Morocco, and then we saw you again in Southern
Cape Town.
California,
Yes,
Cape
Cape
Town.
Town.
But
Yeah.
Southern California was between them, I think, or maybe I may be confused,
I think
right?
it was just, oh yeah, you're right, in the desert
Palm Springs and
in
Palm,
Palm
yeah.
Springs. Yes. Yes.
So you and I have been together worldwide. So I hope that we will get to add Asia to this list. I hope we will. Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
exciting. I didn't see you on the list. I got to go back and look and see who's coming. I got to look and
Oh
see.
yeah, no, I put a yes there, and you put whatever your dreams and your desires are,
Yeah.
you put it out there, and
Hmm.
let God, the universe, the creator,
Hmm.
your heart and soul bring it to you, and it
Yeah,
happens.
it happens.
It
So
happens.
I want to talk to you about a lot of different things. So let me tell you this. Belize is a place where I'm like, I don't think people like it because every time you mention Belize, people will be like, "Oh, I love Belize," but they never say anything else about it, right? I'm like, they don't really like it. But you did a house sit in Belize and then decided, "Oh, I now live in Belize." So tell us, what is so good about Belize?
I'm kind of like country girl at heart, but down to earth kind of girl. But I like nice things too. So I'm actually not on the mainland. It's Ambergris Key. I'm
Yeah,
on the island off of Belize mainland.
yeah.
Slow pace. You meet people. You get in your golf cart, tour through town, you hit the beaches. A lot of people love Secret Beach. I fell in love with Secret Beach. The water, the calm. You can go out a long way. There's so much to discover if you're an outdoor person, especially if you're a water person. Um, I love the key. And so once I get there and I'm there, go back, okay, then I'll discover the ruins, go up to the Mayan ruins, and there's so much there. But for now, yeah, so much.
Wonderful. You can say no. Would you like to share with us the price that you're going to be paying, the rent that you're going to be paying
My rent is $575 a month.
for a room?
It's a studio. They call it a box condo.
Oh,
And I have a wonderful view of the lagoon and the ocean. And I also have a view of the planes coming in, the little prop planes. It's
uh-huh.
so much, it's so much fun. And I look across the lagoon, and after all that rain we had back, oh, maybe about 4 weeks ago, I'm looking out there, and there's a crocodile just chilling on the other side of the lagoon, just sunning. Like, oh yeah, that rain was too much for me. I'm chilling, and yeah, it's just beautiful, beautiful. The people are kind, and the American dollar is 2 to 1, and that helps.
I just Googled Secret Beach in Belize so I could see what it looks like. It is beautiful. It is
Oh,
beautiful. I wouldn't believe that you could find a studio for five something a month. So that's impressive. That's incredible.
I love it. I love it, and I believe they give you 180 days. Don't quote me,
Okay.
but you get a lot of time, and they want Americans to come.
Mhm.
And there was something else I was going to say about Belize, but
They
yes,
speak English. They speak English there, right?
yes, English and
Yeah.
Spanish. And you can fly into Cancun if you want, and then from Cancun, take a little puddle jumper, go to Tropic, take Tropic down to Belize.
Okay. Good. 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 All right.
Yeah.
I, I I don't know what happened to my sound. Let me mute and come back. Okay. Let me see if that's better. I don't
A
know what
little popping, but that's all right.
I'm so excited for you. I'm so
It's
excited.
good
So
to see you.
what feelings were you feeling about selling your home? Were you feeling
Um, Mixed, because I could walk to Lake Mead. I was a half a mile from the lake, so it's just beautiful. But there's beauty all over the world. There's beauty all over the world. So why not enjoy it?
Indeed, indeed. I'm so happy for you, Minnie. I didn't know. I don't think I knew almost any of this except for the house sitting. I did know you were house sat and you're house sitting.
Yep, and you're up in the Bay. You're like in my area. I was up in the Bay Area. I was up in the San Francisco Bay Area visiting relatives for Thanksgiving. But you're up in wine country, you said? No, no, no. You're in Malibu
Tem-
area.
no, yeah, Temecula is southern. There's a two wine regions at least in California, which I didn't know. Temecula was really, really pretty, but down, not too
I'm
far from.
familiar with Temecula. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I'm very familiar. Yeah.
yeah, that was not too far from Palm Springs. That was my house. It was there.
Oh,
Yeah.
very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice. So you went back to Palm Springs, the desert.
I passed through. Not really Palm Springs. I passed through Joshua Tree.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
beautiful.
So,
It's just
so
great seeing you and talking with you again, and love all the things that you and Rashida are doing.
thank
Yeah.
you.
What you do
Thank you
for
so
us.
much. Thank you for giving us your update. You do listen. Everybody's talking about how relaxed and how glowy you look, and I agree. This is you're in alignment, right? You're doing something that is the right
Abs-
thing. Yeah.
Absolutely, my dear.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Minnie. I appreciate you. Oh, is there a place that you want to share? Do you share things on the internet?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm your henna person. So I'm putting some things in place and hope to kick things off in January. Yeah, I'm one of your five. No, I'm one of your UT2 people. So I'm just step by step. We'll
Okay.
get there.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay. Thank you so much. We appreciate you so much.
Thank
Just
you. Appreciate you too. Much
keep
love
us.
to you and your family. Say hi to
Thank
your
you.
mom and dad.
I will. I will. Bye.
Bye.
Minnie will keep us posted inside of the Exodus Summit community. She's very active in there, as you heard her talk about all the meetups that she's been to. She's active in there. She'll keep us posted. I didn't know any of this, so this is very exciting. Belize and the Caribbean in general are probably more accessible as a place to live than you might think, or at least a place to spend a good amount of time out of your year. Even if you don't want to live in the Caribbean all the time, because I can understand not wanting to be vulnerable to certain weather, right? Weather patterns. But if you want to spend a decent amount of time there, there are ways to do it that are much more affordable than you think. I'm going to add Belize to the list because Barbados has already been on our list, right? I spent some time in Curacao, and Curacao has already been on our list. We'll add Belize. Thank you. Yeah, so listen, I have not seen Minnie this relaxed ever. Not to say that she wasn't a relaxed person. Hi, Minnie. Not to say that you weren't, but there is what's in you is out. It's showing, right? There's a different version of Minnie. She's always been sounded peaceful, but now she is peaceful, if that makes sense. I hope you don't take that as an insult. What I'm saying is I see something in you that is out now. So I'm so glad. I'm so glad. That was wonderful. We're super excited for you. I didn't know that. I get really excited and I'm going to calm down. But I didn't know that. I didn't know what was happening. Right? On the move. Ain't no stopping us now. Ain't no stopping us now. Okay? How did we do? Anybody else coming? Any of the other Patreon members want to jump on? Even if you haven't left the country, but you've house sat, you're welcome to jump on. Because I got about 20 minutes before, I'm going to eat my breakfast. Yeah, Michelle, listen, every time people would be like, oh, I love Belize, they would never, ever explain why. And I'm like, they don't like it, right? Because you got to tell me, or I'm just going to assume you don't like it. I'm like, they don't like Belize. They're just saying that because they feel like they have to say it. But okay, she told us. I wrote some things down. She said slower pace. She said people are nice. I added in that they speak English. She said that good cost of living and the beauty, right? The beauty alone is reason enough. Okay, beauty alone is reason enough to be some places. Roshni, many people asking about hurricane prep. That I know. Roshni is from the Virgin Islands. Where can I share that stuff? I don't know. Do we want to talk about that here? Would y'all like a video about living in the Caribbean and hurricane things? Would we like to have that conversation? Y'all tell me. If you want to talk about that here on this channel, we can talk about it here. I can't think of a Black woman YouTuber. Oh, Barbados. I would talk to Clarice and get on Clarice's channel personally. Clarice has an audience of women, but she's not Clarice on the internet. She's Mocha Moiselle. Mocha Moiselle has an audience of women who are moving to the Caribbean. But if y'all want to hear about it, we could do it here. Okay, y'all want to hear about it too? Okay, so all over. The answer is everywhere, Rashni. The answer is you can share that everywhere. Cal, where do you live? Cal, the DJ, says, I live in the Caribbean. I can help. Where do you live? Yeah, Adrian says, I think about hurricanes. Mocha Moiselle moved to Jamaica. She's from the US. She's from down south, and she moved to Jamaica and has residency in Jamaica. And Francis is also from the Virgin Islands. Okay, let's find a way to talk about this here and here on this channel, right? But also on channels from women who are in the Caribbean. Zoe, Expat Collective in Grenada. Y'all should be getting together and doing something together. Okay? Okay, thank you. Hi, Lakia Manning. Thanks for the super chat. Is it wise to get an immigration lawyer to help with visa paperwork? Excited about Belize and Barbados. It is, okay. The philosophy behind this is spend the money and save the time. The reason to pay a lawyer is not necessarily because it's a difficult process and not necessarily because you can't do it alone, but a lawyer or a facilitator. There are people who help you do the paperwork and do things, whether it's a lawyer or a civilian facilitator. The reason to pay for their support is to pay for some peace of mind. They know people in that place. They know what the sticking points are. They know what to not put on the paperwork in addition to what to add in the paperwork. They know which place to go to, right? Which if there are different consulates and embassies, they know which one to go to. If there are different immigration offices, they know which one to go to. I'm always going to be, almost always, in almost anything, except for making coffee, I am spend the money and save your time. I do make my own coffee. And I do my own hair, as you can tell. I don't think that's a secret. But in almost every other part of life, I am spend the money, save your time. I do coaching and I get coaching, right? And some of that is about, you could do some of this stuff on your own, but why would you? Why be stressed out? Let them stress. Why jump through hoops? Let them jump through hoops. I want to send a couple emails and it's done. Okay. So always that's where I'm going to lead you. That doesn't mean you have to do it. You definitely don't. Lots of people have gotten residency in places with nobody's help, no third person's help. If you don't have the money to do it, you can still do it. But if you're asking yourself that question, I assume it's because you have the money to do it and you just want to know, girl, let somebody else do it, okay? You don't have to know everything. You don't have to become the expert in everything. Black women are used to having to become the expert in everything. Give yourself the privilege of handing stuff over to somebody else. Spend your money, save your time. I think that is part of this movement. Part of this movement includes get somebody else to do it. Thank you for that. Thank you for that question. Stressful? Even if the process is simple, Mexico has a pretty straightforward process, right? Even if it's a straightforward process, know yourself. Are you going to feel stressed out about it? Are you going to be worried? If the answer is probably, pay somebody. Pay the man. Pay the woman. If you know there's a place like Mexico and people have told you it's straightforward or relatively straightforward, and you know that you're not going to be stressed out about it, you can do the process and not let it affect you. Your blood pressure going to be good, right? You're not going to have sleepless nights. Then maybe you think about it. But if you know you're going to be stressed, If you know you're going to be sweating, pay the man. Pay the man. Cal the DJ, just got my residency in Mexico. I paid a lawyer for sure, right? Delegate. This is how we do things now. We're used to having to be the person who knows. We are used to having to be the expert because we're not used to having a support team. But build a support team in your life. You'll like it better. You'll like things better. You'll like people better when you're not the one who has to do everything. Build a support team. For you right now, if you're interested in moving abroad, your support team, right, should include people who have also moved to that location, right? Because there's different needs from someone who's moved there than someone who's born there. So your support team, if you're moving to a new place, should include people who have already moved, should probably include people who are in the process of moving, should include somebody local, right? Your support team should include somebody who believes you can do it and who wants you to have this result. Build your support team. If you don't have a support team, you can get it inside of the Exodus Summit Facebook community. If you're ready to, listen, if you're ready to spend your money and save some time, if you're ready to spend your money and save some stress, if you're ready to spend the money and save some results, spend the money and save some wrong steps, some missteps, you're welcome to join us inside of the Exodus A.S.A.P membership. Exodus A.S.A.P is a brand new membership. It's for Black women who are ready to plan their move abroad. It doesn't matter to us if your move abroad is forever or for a few months, or we'll see, or indefinite. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be gone, okay? Exodus A.S.A.P is coaching with me, Rashida Dow, and the Exodus Summit team on your move abroad. If you're right now like, I want to do it, but it's a lot of moving parts. Let us coach you inside of the Exodus A.S.A.P community. The first cohort is gathering. So we've got 40 women inside of Exodus A.S.A.P right now. We did our first coaching session with them just on Thursday. We are, this first cohort of women, they are action takers, right? They're ready to take some action. You don't have to worry about getting into a community and you're the only one doing anything. And it's not helpful because nobody else knows anything because none of them are actually there to do anything. They're just there to have fun. This is not a community of women who are there to have fun, although they do like us and they are fun women. They're women who are, listen, I'm doing this thing and here's where I am in these steps. And here's where I need some support. Here's where I can lend some support. Here's where I already know about something. Right? Some of the women asked us for some specific coaching on some things, and we're bringing in some specific coaching. And some of the women asked for something, and one of the women in the community was like, I can do it. I can teach y'all that, right? Exodus A.S.A.P, even though it's a monthly membership, this is not a monthly membership forever. This is a monthly membership to get your plan together. Once you have all of those moving parts, once you have progress in all of those moving parts, you can leave Exodus A.S.A.P, okay? The moving parts in a move abroad, we call the peace out protocol. There's a peace out protocol. All of the women in this chat who have already left or who are in the process of leaving, they've done 8 things. It's a peace out protocol. Where am I going? What's it going to cost me? Where's the money coming from? What do I do about my home, my property, my stuff? What do I do about my people and pets? What is my healthcare plan in this new place and in this in between time? How do I stay legally? How do I get residency in a country? And then healing. How do I heal? How do I get my mind ready? How do I operate through the fear mindset stuff? Those are the 8 steps to moving abroad. That is the peace out protocol. That's the peace out protocol. If you're ready to make progress on those 8 steps, join us in Exodus A.S.A.P. You go to exodusasap.com, and we now have a text alert thing. You can text A.S.A.P to 888-434-0074 if you want text alerts from us. 888-434-0074. These are already in the description of this video. Thank you, Rashni. Thank you. Listen, we're so excited. Normally, Exodus Summit is over. And women have to wait until next Exodus Summit if they want coaching from us on how to move abroad. we're done with that. We're not doing it like that right now, okay? You don't have to wait until next October if you want to learn from me and Rashida and the Exodus Summit team how to move abroad. You don't have to keep waiting for October through to October. I'm not ready this October. Let me wait till next October. You can jump in now. There are 3 membership payment options. I'm telling you, it's not free, okay? $247 a month, okay? Or for 3 months, if you buy a 3-month bundle, you get a weekend pass to Exodus Summit 2025. If you had happened to know that you want a weekend pass to Exodus Summit 2024 instead, and you didn't get one, we can make that switch out. I think we're both fine with that switch out. But you get a weekend pass to Exodus Summit. If you get the 6-month bundle, 6 months for almost the price of 5. It's basically, I don't like the way certain numbers look on a page. So it's not 6, it's 6 months for basically the price of 5 because it needed to look right. 6 numbers for basically the price of 5, and you get an all access pass to Exodus Summit. So, and the cheapest all access pass was $249 last year, right? So that means basically 6 months for the price of 4, because you're getting the free all access pass added in and you're getting a free month of the summit. So 6 months basically for the price of 4 if you know you're coming to the summit anyway. So Exodus A.S.A.P, join us. On Monday, we have I should have said this while she was on the screen. Forgetfulness. On Monday, we have Adelia coming in to do an intro to investing session. If you're not currently putting your money to work for you in any kind of way, join us. Anybody open up their Vanguard account lately and see what's happening in the stock market? Dollars are going up. This is not financial advice, but girl, make sure your ETFs or whatever you're investing in, make sure they have NVIDIA in the bundle. Make sure your bundle includes NVIDIA, because stocks are going up. Them ETFs and the mutual funds are going up. If you don't even know what I'm talking about, you don't know what an ETF, it's not ETF, EFT. ETF. If you don't even know what an ETF is, you ain't got no Vanguard or no Fidelity or no Charles Schwab account, you don't have a brokerage fund, Adelia is going to, on Monday, inside of Exodus A.S.A.P, Adelia is working with you on that. She is coaching you on that on Monday. I believe that's Monday. 8 p.m. Eastern time is what I believe. ETF. I just be switching the words around, the letters around, but y'all know what I'm saying, okay? I don't even know what it means. To tell the truth, I don't even know what it stands for, but I know I got it. And I know when I look at mine lately, money goes up. I'm like, oh, we talked the other day about selling your home, about the decision inside of the coaching the other day. We talked about the decision to sell or rent your home when you leave the country, or something else. Sell it, rent it short term, rent it long term, rent it midterm, rent it to family. We talked about how to make that decision, how to factor things into that decision. And I was like, listen, if I had a house today, this is not financial advice. No one would take financial advice from me. Okay. This is not financial advice. Okay. I am a YouTube coach and a house sitter. I am not a financial advisor. But let me tell you this, if I had a house today and I was thinking about leaving the country for a couple of years, I would sell my house and I would put a good chunk of that money in one of them ETFs that is going up like this. Girl, one of my Vanguard accounts has seen a 24% profit this year. 24% in the stock market is bananas. 24% is bananas. I'm not telling you to do this. I'm telling you what I would do, but I've also done some dumb things, okay? Okay. I'm telling you what I personally would probably do if I had a home, but I wanted to be gone for 2 years or a year or 2. Yeah. I would let the profits profit on me. Okay. I don't have a home. I'm a house sitter. I don't have to worry about making that decision in the real world, but it would at least be a consideration. It would be a thing I would sit down with my calculator and my numbers and figure out. If you don't even know what we're talking about, but you want to you think that you want to start making sure that your money is making money. If you want your money to start making money, join us inside of Exodus A.S.A.P. and Monday come to coaching with Adelia Aborishade. Okay, she's gonna help you. Okay, she's gonna help you. It's just like the regular, that most popular Vanguard account, VETX. Let me see, Vanguard. I promise you, if I Google Vanguard ETF, it's the one that's Vanguard ETF most popular. It's the one that everybody has. Vanguard compare ETFs. I thought one would just pop up. 5 best ETFs to buy. Do any of these look right? I want to say it's VE something. And it doesn't matter. You just need an ETF that has NVIDIA in the fund. NVIDIA in the fund. I promise you. Hold on. Let me log in. VET. I figured like it was VET. I don't know. Let me log in. This is not financial advice. No one should take financial advice from me. I just watched Rashni's video on her YouTube channel, Glamazzini, on her YouTube channel today. I watched it this morning while I was getting ready. And she said, I always have to get a text code to log in. She said, stop taking advice from the wrong people. Okay? In money and financial matters, I am the wrong person, but I do know the right people. I am not the person to take financial advice from, but I do know people to take financial advice from. One of them is Adelia Aborishade, financial educator, and my friend, and a sister in this movement. I'm not sharing my screen, am I? I don't want y'all to see my paltry account, but it's going up. So then you have to look at holdings. Every time I get on Vanguard, it's like the first time I've ever looked at it. It's the ESGV. I have several funds, but the one that 24% is ESGV. That's the ETF. Year to date, NAV returns. No, what am I looking at? I want to look at the actual return year to date. Let me just Google it. ESGV return year to date. ESGV return year to date. Vanguard is not the hardest to read, but it's also not the easiest to read. Oh, this says the year to date is 34.4% return. If I had a house, I would sell that house. I would put that money in one of these funds. I would be out in the world. Excuse me. Sessions with Gigi says VOO is the most popular. Excuse me. Yeah, this is the one. This Google says 34%. I know when I looked at it a couple weeks ago, it said 24% year to date. Please. Yeah, so cash set aside. So a thing that Adelia has taught me, right? I had to keep my money for the year. Adelia did sessions. Adelia has done sessions in almost every Exodus Summit. And in almost every Exodus Summit, I have taken some action that she said to take, right? And what she taught me is to put money in a high yield, the money that I'm going to use for the year. I put that in a high yield savings account. Now, over the last couple of years, my high yield savings account has been good, like 5.5 and close to 6%. Now that's down to 2.9. I think my high yield savings account is down to 2.9%, but it's still interest. It's still more interest than I get in my checking account. So right now, high yield savings account is where I put my money for the that I need to be able to access, so that if things go bad on the stock market, I can wait and ride it out. I don't need to pull out money while things are down, right? The basics I know about the stock market is you don't touch it when it's down because you've given free money away, right? So high yield savings has been good for the last couple of years, but it's down now. I think mine went from, it was almost 6%. I think it was 5 point something percent at its highest. And it's down to, I think, 2.9%. Yeah, so that's where this is the money I need to use for the year, or this is the money that, if I blow everything else, this is my most accessible savings account. Yeah, okay. But I'm telling you, 34% return for the year. That's crazy. That's crazy, right? When you go to those little calculators and you're like, when they say like average out for the stock market, they'll be like, well, if the stock market is doing good, you should be able to get 8%. When the stock market is doing good over the course of a 10-year span, your return should be about 8%. 34%. Forget it. Forget it. I don't do CDs because this is money that I have to touch. The money that I have to touch, right? CDs, it's locked in. No, I don't do CDs. I'm not doing all that. I'm doing my Vanguard brokerage account. My Vanguard I have a brokerage account and an IRA. And then my high yield savings account. I'm not doing all this other stuff. I'm not doing it, right? CDs, your money is locked in. Put it in I would just put it in a brokerage account. If my brokerage account is giving me 34%, why do I need a CD? What's the CD doing for me? Right? If the stock market was doing terribly, then a CD would make more sense to me. At this point, with Vanguard account 34%, and I can pull that money out. You can pull that money out of your brokerage account. You can't pull money out of a CD when you need it. Why didn't you choose to live in one of the Black Caribbean islands as opposed to Costa Rica? My main emphasis has been on adopting children, and a lot of Caribbean countries do not let single Black women adopt children single Black women over 50. Being a single Black woman over 50 has really constricted my moves, right? Has really constricted my options in terms of where to live. If you don't want to adopt children and you're not a single Black woman over 50, then you shouldn't be taking my advice on where to live, right? Or not. I'm not giving advice on where to live, but you shouldn't be following me, right? You shouldn't be following me to Costa Rica is what I mean. Follow me on the internet, but follow me to Costa Rica. If you are a single Black woman over 50 who wants to adopt Black children and you want to go through the process that Costa Rica has lined out, right? But otherwise, you have to decide for yourself what place makes sense. You have to decide for yourself what works for you. So here, instead of me talking about where to go, right now I'm telling you what to do because we're talking stock market, but it's not real advice. But in the move abroad space, I do give real advice. But one piece of real advice I never give is where to go. Because you have to know what makes sense for you. How do you know what you need and what you want? You need you need free time. You need free time. You need to know what you want, know what you value, know what you intend. So Evelyn talked about intentionality. Adelia talked about value. Minnie talked about freedom. You have to know values and freedom. You have to know what things are important to you before you can make these decisions in a way that you're going to like. So give yourself free time. Give yourself as much free time as you can. And then figure out what you want. Now, that free time might happen after you move. Okay, that free time you might be freed up to do this introspection and this thought stuff after you move to a place. That just means you need to be willing to get to a place and then find out that I want something a little different. I'm going to pick up and try another place. Okay, it just means, like Evelyn said, remember that you're not a tree. If you get somewhere and it doesn't work out for you, okay, find the right place. If Evelyn she scouted out Ecuador. So if she had gone to Ecuador and then moved to Ecuador and then decided, you know what, I think Panama is more it for me, she would have been able to just go to Panama, pick up, do the process, do parts of the process again. You don't have to do the whole process again. Just do parts of that peace out protocol, get residency, go to Panama. We don't need to be stuck to a place. So listen, you don't have to educate me on CDs. I don't know. I am not a financial advisor and I don't need education on CDs. I promise you. I promise you. I have my money where I want my money. You don't have to, I answered the question about why not a CD, but I'm not telling you not to use CDs. Use a CD if that works for you. I'm telling you what I have decided. I don't have a lot of desire to learn money stuff. If I can look at my money and say my money is making money for me, I feel good. I don't have a desire to learn a lot of money stuff, right? But some of my friends do, and so I just listen, listen to them. I like that if I do need, if things do go left and I need to pull out my money, I need to be able to pull it out, right? The money inside of the IRA is not as easily accessible as everything else, but everything else, you can take your money and run. Take that money and run at any time. I like that. All right. Anything else happening? Anything else happening? Let's scroll. Now that I have a chat that doesn't jump around like it used to on eCam Live. There are Black people in Costa Rica. Costa Rica, law saying, but Costa Rica is Black. There are Black people in Costa Rica. Any place that touches the Caribbean Ocean, they got Black people there. Well, I don't know. Maybe not any place, but most of them places. If it touches the Caribbean Sea, it's Black people there. You don't have to worry. Black people got there just like Black people got here. They ship Black people all over that Caribbean. Okay, you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about not being around Black people. Is a Columbia meetup still happening? Are you talking about Columbia, South Carolina? Let me look in the Facebook group. Have y'all looked in the Facebook group? Go to the events section, ExodusSummit.com/community, and look in the events section. So today there is a meetup in the DMV, Northern Virginia. There's a meetup in Greenville, South Carolina. There's a meetup in South Florida. And tomorrow a meetup in Detroit and Austin, which may be in here twice by mistake. Yeah, okay. So all of those meetups are happening just this weekend. Oh, okay. There's some new ones. Las Vegas is meeting up again on December 22nd. Okay, good. Let me see who put that together. I was just in Las Vegas and got to meet up with some of the women there. Kim, good. Kim's doing another meetup in Las Vegas. All right, good. All right. I see y'all. I told them to stay together and they're doing it. That's wonderful. Yeah, ExodusSummit.com/community. So Columbia, but you asked me about a specific one and I just started reading them all. I did see Greenville, South Carolina. Is that what you meant? It's happening today. If you go to ExodusSummit.com/community, there's still time to get in the group and get info on the meetups. Yeah, you need free time. You need free time. All right. Austin, all of the meetups, you have to be in the Exodus Summit community to get the info, right? If you want the meetup info, you have to be inside of the Exodus Summit community, which is why I say it's worth it to be on Facebook for this. Even if you're not on Facebook for anything else, it's worth it to be on Facebook for this. You have to be able to tell that you're a Black woman when you request to join, but you don't have to use your real name. If you don't want to be on Facebook under your real name because you don't want people to see you, that's fine. Black women love an alias, excuse me. Black women love an alias. So if you can't use your real name, that's fine. Your photo, we need to know that you're a Black woman. So your photo, if your photo is a sunset or a tree, I declined some people just today, right? If we can't tell you're a Black woman or your photo is Kamala Harris, we know that's Kamala Harris. We know that's not you. You're probably not going to get in. If you do get in, it's going to take quite a while for us to go through your profile and try to find a real picture of you. But if you want, I know, listen, it won't be forever. We will create something off of Facebook. We know we'll do it because we want to do it. We just haven't had the time. It's always, just not the right time to figure it out. We will create something off of Facebook because we don't like them either. Like, right? We don't like them either. So I don't know. Do what's right for you. Okay, do what's right for you. But if you want to join in on some of the Exodus Summit activities, join us there. Now, if you join Exodus A.S.A.P, you don't need to be on Facebook for Exodus A.S.A.P. So if you want to join Exodus A.S.A.P and be a part of our membership, okay, for money, it's not free right now. There's no free, right? If you want to join the Exodus A.S.A.P membership, then you would have access to that information as well. Right? Like, I'll be like, every place I see her, she uses a different name. Don't let me mess around and find out your government name. It's hard for me to switch back once I learn the government name. Oh, South America, Colombia. We don't have any meetup planned for South America, but do you want to plan one? Are you there? Because I might be there in January. Don't tell anybody. I might be in Colombia, in Bogota, in January. Because they do Three Kings things. And I'm trying to figure out where to go after Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico does Three Kings stuff too, but I don't want to. Puerto Rico in the wintertime, it's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's expensive. It's expensive. Puerto Rico in the wintertime is expensive. More than I want to pay is what I mean. I don't mean it's overpriced. I'm not here to say it's overpriced. It's worth what it's worth. But I don't want to pay that money. So I think it's going to be Bogota, Colombia, where it's not going to be warm. It's not going to be tropical, but I will get to see some Three Kings celebration stuff happening. I don't have any other meetup plan because I'm leaving Southern California. I'm wheels up Monday. I leave early Monday morning, basically Sunday night. I leave Sunday night. So no, we did the Temecula one and that was it. I don't have time today or tomorrow. Well, do I have time tomorrow? Let me look at my calendar. I know I don't have time today. Rashida and I are doing some work today. Saturday is often a work day for me. Tomorrow. Yeah, no, a thing I forgot to tell you. The Schooling Kids Abroad workshop for the All Access Pass holders of Exodus Summit 2024 is tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. If you have the All Access Pass to Exodus Summit 2024 and you have children, school-aged kids, and you need to make a plan for their schooling, right? You need to make a plan for how you're going to educate your kids in a new country, put things together, then you have an email in your inbox. If you already have the All Access Pass, you have an email in your inbox just reminding you that it happens on tomorrow. If you don't have your All Access Pass, then go to ExodusSummit.com, and get your All Access Pass. If you want to work with Janita on how to make your plan for your kids' education when you're in a new country, Janita has done a variety of different things. Her kids have gone to traditional school. She has homeschooled them. She has online schooled them, which is a little different. And then she created a micro school. So she has a variety of experiences, and she's going to help moms get their plans together. What is the plan to school this kid? If you want the All Access Pass to Exodus Summit 2024 so that you can come to this workshop on Sunday, go to ExodusSummit.com and get your All Access Pass. Because the schooling kids thing is something that not a lot of people can help you with. A lot of people in this space do not have school-age kids. If you want some help, you want some support, let Janita do that with you, okay? That workshop is Sunday, 8 Eastern Time, 5 Pacific Time, for anyone with the All Access Pass to Exodus Summit 2024. Anything else I need to tell you about that? No, the Zoom link will go out on Sunday. So get your All Access Pass now, and then you'll get the Zoom link tomorrow with everybody else. And then you'll also get the replays to Libria's remote job session and Adelia's money session, money math session, move abroad money math session. Yeah, that's it. I think that's all I have to tell you about the session tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. You're going to work on your kids' plan. What are your kids? So Janita talked to us during the summit about knowing that she had a kid who was into music and who's on his way, his or her, on their way to some sort of music school. And so she needed to make sure that that kid's education plan worked for the music program that the kid wanted to get into. Right? So how do you take your kids' needs, interests, wants, future into consideration and create a school plan that is specific to them and not just some cookie cutter, all kids do this stuff. All right? Yeah. Do I know about the process of becoming an international teacher? No, but Adelia does. Adelia's channel is Picky Girl Travels the World. Adelia wrote a book on teaching, being a teacher at international schools. Adelia, who was just here, taught in Honduras, somewhere in the Middle East, China. She taught as a teacher at international schools. If you're already a teacher and you would like to go abroad and teach somewhere else, teach at a school somewhere else, Adelia's channel is for you. Picky Girl Travels the World, and she has a book on Amazon on teaching internationally. I dropped her link earlier. Do I still have it up? No. Picky. Oh, wait. Do that here. Okay, so here's Adelia's channel, and then maybe I'll find her. It should be easy to find her book. If I go to Amazon, well, you can do it, but let me do it. If I go to Amazon and I put in her name, boom, then you don't have to type the whole thing. Teach the Guide to Teaching Abroad. Picky Girl Travels the World, Guide to Teaching Abroad, answers to the most frequently asked questions about teaching at international schools is her book. I'm going to copy and paste, and then I'm going to get the link and copy and paste and send. So I'm not familiar with it other than having talked to Adelia, and I think I've interviewed, this was years ago. I interviewed a woman in Korea. So long ago, I don't remember her name. I remember her face. Yeah, so it is a thing. Teachers do. Teachers leave the US often by teaching in another country, going to an international school and teaching in that country. If you're a teacher, there are schools that hire abroad, around the world, international schools, English-speaking international schools. Okay. All right. Now we've done it. Now I think I've covered everything that I should cover. Okay. All right. Yes. So she's talking about her session is Intro to Investing. The session that Adelia is doing inside of ExodUS A.S.A.P on Monday is on Intro Investing. So yeah, she's going to talk to you about how do you get some money into the stock market in a way that doesn't require you to be vigilant. Because listen, I open my Vanguard account once. I'm supposed to open it every month, but I look at it once a quarter. Right? Once a quarter. Is the arrow going up? Okay, good. Right? Is the chart going up? Because the money automatically, I automatically invest a percentage of my money every month. So I don't have to look in it to put money into it, but I do look at it just to make sure, right? During the beginning of the pandemic, every time I opened it, money was going down. So I would just close it, gently exit out. I'll be back in 3 months. Now, when I look back, I've made way more than I lost. I've made way more than I lost during the pandemic. The arrow was going down during the pandemic, but I've recovered more than I've lost. So I'm so glad that I didn't touch it, because there are people, I'm sure, who, when they saw the arrow going down, was like, this is the end. Let me pull my money out of here. And then they never got to rebound. My rebound has been significant. It's been nice. For somebody who doesn't have big bucks in the stock market, I'm still seeing significant increases, right? 24 or 34% in a year is big, that's a big increase. So there is a time, just like everyone else, I'm investing for the future so that there's a time in my life when I live off of that money. When that money makes enough money for me to live off, I'm doing the same things that y'all are doing. And I learned from Adelia. So you might as well learn from her too, right? Just like you, I don't want to have to keep making money from YouTube to be able to live, right? Just like you. YouTube is not the same amount of work, but it's still work. I don't want to have to keep coaching to make money to live. One day Exodus Summit, I don't want to have to keep hosting Exodus Summit to make money to live. So I make money, put it into my Vanguard accounts so that the arrow goes up and I can afford to live off of the money that money is making. That's my goal, just like that's your goal. And if you want to get started on this inside of your Move Abroad plan, if you want to get started on investing inside of your larger plan to leave the country, join us in Exodus A.S.A.P. Adelia's session is Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. If you're not in by then, you'll be able to get the replays after. But if you want to come in and get some questions answered right away from someone who has Rashida mentioned this the other day, from someone who has no financial stake in what the info that they give you, right? Now, she's not a financial advisor. She's not going to convince you to buy her products where she gets a commission, right? If you want to learn from someone who has done some research, who has learned some things and has put those things to use so that she can retire at her young age, then come to the session. ExodusASAP.com or text ASAP to 888-434-0074 if you're not yet in the membership and you want to be. Okay? Okay. All right. Set it and forget it. I just, when I put money, when Adelia said do a high yield savings account, I went to first my bank, USAA, and they were like, our high yield savings account rate is 0.8%. And I was like, no, ma'am, I know that's not a high yield savings account rate. I don't know why USAA doesn't offer that product. So I went to NerdWallet, you know, NerdWallet. Anytime you Google money things, they come up. I trust them. And they listed 5 top ones. I went to American Express because on that particular day, American Express's rate was the highest. That's how I picked my high yield savings account. So I have an American Express high yield savings account. That's how I picked it. NerdWallet said, go there, right? Adelia may have some other resources on Monday. I put my money in American Express. So now that was, I think, the 2022 summit. So now when I need to make money and it all goes into my bank account, and then I have to decide where that money goes. Most of that money needs to be out of my hands. I need to, right? So some of it I pay my employees, or not, they're not employees, but I pay contractors with some of the money. I save some money for future things, right? My adoption fund money, right? I put money in my Vanguard accounts. I spend some of the money on housing and food and travel. And then I put the money that is for the year's budget into the high yield savings account. Adelia's, she's the one who told me to do it. So you might as well learn from her. Yeah, right? You might as well learn from her instead of me trying to explain it to you here. And you're learning from a middleman who doesn't want to learn a whole lot about things. But Adelia told us that, I believe it was Exodus Summit 2022, and that's what I've been doing, right? I use the American Express. I just Googled, and NerdWallet was like, here are the top 5 rates today. And so that's what I did. That means that now I still have too much money in my regular USAA bank accounts because you're not getting any interest on that money, and money is worth less and less every day because of inflation. I still am not doing things perfectly. In the real world, the money that, like, when YouTube pays me this money on the 21st of the month, it wouldn't take me so long to move it somewhere. I let it sit in my bank account excuse me, it's money that is for future use, but I let it sit in my bank account so long that inflation is making it worth less and less. So next year, one of the things I'm committing to is being more active about moving the money to the right place instead of letting it sit, to make sure that I'm getting the most from the money. If these stocks, right, if these ETFs, if the arrow's going to keep going up, why would I keep money so much? Why would it take me so long to move that money out of my checking account? If it's money I'm going to invest anyway, why is it sitting there so long? And maybe I need to figure out another plan for my monthly money. My monthly money right now is sitting in my checking account, the every month money, but maybe that doesn't need to sit there. Maybe it should go someplace where it's going to earn some interest. Are there people who do things without, and would it be annoying to have to always move money into my checking account? Those are things that I'm going to start thinking about next year. Because seriously, 24 to 34% annual return on them ETFs, I would leave no money in my checking account if it was less of a if it wasn't so disturbing to have to go pull money out every time I wanted to use it. Like YouTube was, I told you, YouTube is going to pay me almost $5,600 on the 21st of the month, right? But I'm not going to use that money for quite a while because my travel money, every travel plan that I have is already paid for. My flights are already paid for. My hotels and my Airbnbs are already paid for. I'm house sitting in Puerto Rico, right? How long do I leave that money in my USAA checking account? And how much would I have made if I had just put it over into the Vanguard first and then moved it? Is it too annoying? I've never taken money out of a brokerage account. I have taken money out of an IRA or a retirement account. I've never taken money out of a brokerage account. Is it dumb? Is it not smart to put all of my money into the brokerage account and then take out what I need every month? If it's going to earn 34%, right, annually, right, or 20, let's go with 24%. If it's going to earn 2% that month, is it smarter to go ahead and put it in there and then just take it out when I need it? Is that not smart? Should I be moving it over to American Express faster? These are some things I need to sit down and work out too. We're all in the same boat, right? We want our money to make money. We want to be able to access the money when we need it. And we don't want to, so transfer times are annoying. And we don't want to be the people who don't profit, who don't benefit from what's happening, right? Stock market's going up, the money's going up. That one stock, NVIDIA, is driving the train, driving the boat right now. And we don't want to miss that boat. NVIDIA is really, there's money raining down from the sky. And we don't want to miss out on that. But I also don't want to mess up. I don't want to mess up. Right? So yeah, Adelia says it's annoying. It takes time for funds to settle when you're moving money out of the brokerage account. Yeah. So like how much time and how often do I need it? And yeah, I think I probably am not moving enough there. I think I'm not moving it fast enough. Going in once a quarter and looking at things means that I'm not in touch. But I also don't want to open that account every day. I don't want to look at it every day. I definitely don't. I definitely don't. All right. So yeah, so that's what that Adelia is the one who told me, use a high yield savings account for that kind of stuff, right? Use a high yield savings account for that kind of stuff. I think I need to know how much I need to readjust how much I'm putting in that account. And then once I reach that number, then what? Where does the money go after that? Right? I don't need a whole lot of money to live on for the year. Once that's done, then what? Then what do I do with the other money? Oh yeah, it's a stock market. There's a chance of losing. Yes, I lost a lot of money in Vanguard. If I had taken them, if I had closed them accounts when they were down, I would have lost a lot of money in the stock market. COVID, absolutely. Stocks were down. The number was going down, 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 but I didn't touch it. And now up, up, up. Stock market is not for like, this is money I need right now. Stock market is for future money, for the end times. It's for the end times. Yeah. Essence says removing money from a brokerage in less than a year will cost you the same income tax rate you pay on normal pay. Okay. So, right. I don't know. I don't know. So I'll be at a Adelia session with you, is what I'm saying. Okay. That's why I started out this conversation with, you don't want advice from me on money. House sitting advice from me? Yes, you do. Digital nomad and leaving the country advice? Yes, you do. But you don't want money advice from me. You might want money advice from my friends who have done things, who know things, know better than I know. All right. Yes. Okay. So come to us. I'm here to learn. Me too. Cruz. Hey, Cruz 411. We're here to learn. Yeah. So if this is a thing, if you are interested, one more time, if you're interested in moving, if you're interested in leaving the country, getting a plan together to leave the country, and inside of that plan, you'd also like to learn how to make sure your money is making money for you, come to our session on Monday inside of Exodus A.S.A.P. Yes, it's a monthly membership. Okay. You decide how many months you want to be in there. If you want to join right now, month to month, you can join month to month. If you want a 3-month package, you get a free weekend pass to Exodus Summit. If you want the 6-month bundle, you get an all access pass to Exodus Summit, and you get 6 months for basically the price of 5. So you decide. The 40 women who are in this community today are women who are taking action to get out ASAP. You're going to like that. Sometimes you join memberships and nobody's doing nothing. And then you end up not doing nothing. There is a current, there's a wave happening. Get in the water so that the current can take you along with them. You're going to love being in accountability groups with them. And you're going to love coming to coaching and sessions with them and with us. Okay. ExodusASAP.com is the link. ExodusASAP is, or you can ExodusASAP.com. Okay. Or you can text ASAP to 888-434-0074. All right. Okay. So nice to see you guys. Oh, this was a long one. Thank you for your patience with the internet. I don't know what that was about. I don't know what that was about, because after like 5 minutes of disturbance, everything was good. So what was the point of that? StreamYard. I guess that was my welcome to StreamYard. But thank you for your patience with that. I appreciate you guys. And thank you to my guests who jumped on. Thank you very much, Minnie, who hopefully I'll see in Vietnam. Thank you very much, Adelia. Always appreciated. And thank you very much, Evelyn, for sharing life in Panama with us. Thank you, guys. We'll see you guys again very soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy December. Bye.